everybody, what's up? I'm Steven, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving my predictions for AEW's Fyter Fest event that's coming up. It's actually going to be on 2 separate weeks of AEW TV, so it's not actually like a pay-per-view, which I thought was interesting. There are some of the matches on the card are looking really good, and since they're doing it over 2 nights, I'm going to be giving my predictions for night 1 in this video, which is next Wednesday, July 1st or whatever the date is, and then the following week after that I'll be giving my second prediction. So next Saturday, stay tuned for that, I'll be giving my night 2 predictions. As of right now, I don't think they'll be adding any more matches to the card. It looks like there's about, in total over both nights, it looks like there's about 10, maybe 11 matches. But they kind of split it. It looks like it's 5 and 5 as far as I've seen. I looked it up online. I didn't get to watch AEW Dynamite this week, but so I hope I cover every match that they mentioned. If they do add more, oh well, I didn't get to put it in this video. But so night 1, starting with this first one, it's one of the tag team matches they have going on. It's MJF and Wardlow versus Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. I don't really know how this match came about. I know they were building up, it seemed like they were building up MJF and Wardlow versus the Gunn Club, like Billy Gunn and his 2 sons or whatever, but I don't know how Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy got into this. I haven't been able to keep up with AEW lately. But I'm saying MJF and Wardlow are probably going to win this. I feel like now it seems like they're sort of putting them in the tag team division for some reason. I was enjoying MJF as like that super heel that he was, where he betrayed Cody and everything else. I would like to see MJF and Cody fight for the TNT Championship at some point, but right now it's just looking like they've teamed MJF and Wardlow up as more of a tag team, which is okay too. I mean, they could always use more tag teams. It seems like everybody's in a tag team in AEW though, which is not a bad thing at all. The way that they do tag team wrestling is a lot better than WWE, but that's beside the point. But I think MJF and Wardlow are going to win this, and then go on to sort of fight the Gunn Club at whatever their next pay-per-view event is. I'm not even sure what they're building to. They already had Double or Nothing, I believe, so whatever the next event is, I'm sure that'll lead to MJF and Wardlow fighting them. Maybe not necessarily Billy Gunn, but his 2 sons or whatever, who seem to be starting out in AEW now and forming a tag team, things like that. So MJF and Wardlow there, and then I could see them down the line getting a tag team title opportunity. Next up, another tag team match they have announced for the card is Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz. Again, I don't really know why they have this match going on either. I think it's because Private Party has aligned themselves with Matt Hardy, so that's why I'm saying Private Party is going to win this. I think Matt Hardy is going to sort of interfere and help them, because he's still going against the Inner Circle, and Santana and Ortiz, as I'm sure you know, are part of the Inner Circle. So having Private Party beat them because of Matt Hardy just adds more to that. And I think down the line somewhere it's going to lead to Matt Hardy versus Jericho. I know it seemed like they were building up to that. I don't know if they ever did it or not, Matt Hardy versus Jericho, but I'm looking forward to that if they do. And having Matt Hardy as part of the Elite rather than the Inner Circle is a nice touch as well, because it adds more to that whole rivalry, and they can move all the different parts around too. So, and now they have Private Party involved in this. I think it'd be a nice win for Private Party. I'm not sure what their record is right now in AEW, but beating someone like Santana and Ortiz, formerly known as, LAX from Impact, is seems like a big deal to me, at least for AEW's tag team division. And that could lead to a future tag team title opportunity as well. So I'm going with Private Party here, with maybe some Matt Hardy interference or however they end up making that happen. Next up is the AEW Women's Title match, Hikaru Shida versus Penelope Ford. I don't pay much attention to AEW's women's division. I'm sure a lot of you don't either. I've heard it's not, like, a lot of people think it's like one of the weakest women's divisions right now. I mean, they are working on building up some stars, it seems like, but I'm just saying Shida is going to retain the title here. I don't know if Penelope Ford is necessarily like a major star for that. I think they could end up having, like, whenever Britt Baker comes back, she'll probably be the next one to win the title. I'm not sure what they'll do with that. Like I said, I don't really focus that much on their women's. Nothing against the women wrestlers. I just sort of skip over that stuff when I'm watching the recordings that I have of AEW and things. It doesn't seem like it's that important to me. I don't know. Right now, at least. Like, I'm sure they'll build up more down the road. They are working on their women's division. You know, WWE has all the, like, major women's stars out there, so it's like you got to work with who you have, you know. But I'm saying Hikaru Shida retains the title. I'm not even sure if I'm saying her name right, but I think she's going to retain. Next up for the AEW Tag Team titles, it's Best Friends versus Adam Page and Kenny Omega. I sort of had a hard time with this match because I know the story they were going with like several months ago was that it seemed like Adam Page and Kenny Omega were having issues. It seemed like Adam Page, it almost kind of seemed like it was Adam Page was sort of jealous of Omega getting the spotlight all the time, so then he'd like win the match for them so that he could say he's better than Omega, things like that. It seemed like they were going to have a falling out, and then all this stuff happened, you know, with COVID-19. They had to change a lot of plans, and it almost seems like they dropped that, but I hope they didn't, because that was some good storytelling. Like, you never knew when Page might turn on Omega, but somehow they still also did work together and come out on top. I'm going to say they're going to retain the titles here, but that's going to lead to... I honestly don't think Best Friends need to win the titles off of Omega and Page just yet. Not to say that they shouldn't win the titles down the road, I just don't feel it's going to happen here. Maybe after the match, I'm thinking like Adam Page, that can be where they have that heel turn from Adam Page. I don't think it'll happen like during the match where they'll end up losing the titles or anything, but it would be interesting to see it happen after they retain the titles, because then they're still champions, but they hate each other. And then go on and lose the titles to someone like, I don't know, the Lucha Bros or any of the other tag teams in the division. Santana and Ortiz, Private Party, you know, whoever. But to have the falling out like after the match, after they retain the titles, that would add a bit of, you know, suspense to it. Like, well, how are they gonna keep fighting as a team? Are they gonna be, you know? But right now, I think they're gonna retain the titles there. I'm sure Best Friends will win the titles down the line. There's a lot of tag team matches on this card. Even for night 2, there's some more tag team matches as well, but we'll get into that next week. And the final match for night 1, at least that's been announced, or that I found when I looked it up, was the TNT title match, which is Cody versus Jake Hager. Now, Cody just won the title, like, I think it was last month, and he's had a couple title defenses on Wednesday nights. It's sort of like a television title, I guess, because it's called the TNT Championship, and that's the, you know, TV network that they're on is TNT, so that makes sense. But I think here Cody is going to beat Jake Hager. I don't think Cody's going to lose it yet. Maybe he'll end up losing it somewhere down the line. Like I said, I'd like to see him versus MJF again, and this time Cody can beat MJF and actually like retain his title or something. But having Cody defending it every week is awesome to see, and it's sort of something fresh because it's a new title for people to fight for. I don't think they're going to put it on Jake Hager just yet, but maybe Cody starts taking on every member of the Inner Circle, and eventually one of them does win it. I don't know if they'd have him defended at an actual pay-per-view, or if it's just going to be an exclusively to Wednesday nights. I mean, this is technically a pay-per-view, but it's, you know, a live episode of AEW Fyter, or, you know, like a live episode of AEW themed as Fyter Fest, sort of. So it kind of is a pay-per-view, but I think Cody is going to beat Jake Hager here and then continue for the next maybe month or two, couple months, defending the title every week on Wednesday, until he loses it. I don't know who to. Maybe Lance Archer can fight him again and win it this time. However they want to do it, but I think it's not Jake Hager's time to win the title yet. Maybe they fight again. However they do that, but I'm saying Cody will retain the title here. So that concludes my predictions for night 1 of Fyter Fest. It's not very many matches on each night, but I'm okay with that because 5 matches over 2 hours means some of the matches are going to be probably a half an hour or 20 minutes or so. So they're probably all going to be really good. I'm looking forward to most of these matches, especially on night 2. And so let us know down in the comments section what you guys think. What are your predictions for night 1 of Fyter Fest? And stay tuned for next week for night 2, or my night 2 predictions, where I'll tell you what I think will happen on night 2 of AEW Fyter Fest. That is next Wednesday and the following week on July 1st and July 8th, I guess it is. So look forward to that as well. It's like a free pay-per-view on a Wednesday. You can't get any better than that. So take care, everybody.